Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now today we're going to be making a KFC style recipe, not the Colonel's, but my own kind of interpretation on it. And also I'm going to be making it without breaded flour, so this is going to be less carbs and more protein going in. So let's get started, guys. So first of all, these are my well, a bit more than the Colonel's 11 herbs and spices. What have we got going on here then? So we've got some garlic powder, we've got some white pepper. I've put a sneaky little bit of mild chili powder in, but this is just my preference. We've got some ginger, ground ginger. We've got some Italian herbs going on here, but if you want to use oregano and basil, that's fine. But I didn't have any, but this already has it in it. And I have some thyme and also some celery salt. And I've got some onion salt in here as well. And I've got some paprika. Now you can use smoked if you want to, but this is just plain normal paprika, and a bit of black pepper. And I know I said a bit of white pepper, and some garlic powder, and that's it. And that's what's going to go in. Now a lot of people, when they're making this dish, tend to soak the chicken overnight or for a few hours with buttermilk, but I don't possess any buttermilk, so I've literally made it from plain milk. So you get a quarter of a cup of milk or half a cup of milk, and just add some, this is wine vinegar, normal wine vinegar. Just add a teaspoon in and mix that in with the milk, and then marinate your chicken in overnight. And it tends to tenderize the chicken, breaks the proteins down to make it taste a bit better. But my previous chicken that I'd done before this, which I'm going to show you on my, here's one I prepared earlier in a bit, has no marinade, has no overnight soak. I just used the egg dip and the flour, and that was it, and it sufficed, to be honest. But if you want to faff around and experiment and see if it tastes any better, it's entirely up to you. And today I did actually marinate it overnight, so I don't even know what it's going to taste like until I cook it and see what it's like at the end of it. So anyway, let's. And yeah, so there's our Colonel's secret recipe. In fact, to be honest with you, it's missing garlic powder. Can't seem to manage to get any garlic powder at the moment. Not garlic powder, mustard powder. So if you have any mustard powder, just add a little teaspoon in. I've actually added a teaspoon and a half, but go for a teaspoon. And I'm doing this per cup because the flour is basically a cup. So I'm going to be using a cup of flour, which I've already pre-mixed. Now let me just show you these flours. So this is called gram flour, also known as chickpea flour, and it's very high in protein, so it's just ground chickpeas. It tends to make the batter a little bit darker, but equally it's going to give you, you know, that less carbs and more protein within it. Now I've also added some coconut flour, so, and that's gluten free. But I don't know if corn flour is gluten free. So if you don't want to add any corn flour, don't add any. If you want to go totally gluten free, so I actually added. So with the ground flour, I added half, well, 2/3 of the cup. 2/3 of the cup I added. I should have mixed this for you guys, but you know, I'm sure you can mix this yourselves. Now with the gram flour, I added 3/4 of a cup of the gram flours, and also a quarter of a cup of the coconut flour. So that's gone into that, and I've added 2 tablespoons of sorry, 1 big heaped tablespoon of just normal cornstarch or corn flour. Now that tends to give it, just crisp it up a little bit better. Now look, let's get on with the mixing. So that's all gone in there. So I'm going to start adding my spices to the mix. So in we go with them. Again, you know, this is trial and error, so tweak it to the flavors that you want. You might just want to add only a teaspoon of each of the spices, herbs and spices. But you know, I thought the last batch I did was, well, there wasn't much salt going on there, and again, I've not added any salt because I'm using garlic. Sorry, I've got onion salt in there as well. So, because I'm using onion salt and celery salt, there's enough salt going on, guys. So, you know, I've just mixed this up. It doesn't take long. I will put this recipe in one of my posts, so that's what I'm going to start doing now. I'm going to start bunging the recipes on the post for you guys. If you can't pause the video, listen to me whittle on. Okay, so we've got that sorted there. Now, what we want to do now is we want to add this into the dish. This is going to be our bread bath. And so we've got that sorted there. And as I said, the chicken, now I'm using chicken thigh. Guys, I've got the skin on, but you know, a lot of people on this diet, this GLP-1 diet, would probably prefer to take the skin off. I'm keeping it on because I like skin. So you know, for a less fattening dish, take the skin off, and there you go, you're sorted. But this was actually marinated in the milk and the wine vinegar, a spoonful of wine vinegar all night. So this should have tenderized it. Like I said, I've not tried this version yet. So for me, this is an experiment with you guys while it's happening. So, okay then. So also I used 2 eggs. So I just mixed 2 eggs up, and that's what we're going to, you know, going to put the chicken in. We're going to bath the chicken in that, and then we're going to coat it in the breadcrumb. So let me just, okay, so like so. Just want to coat that. Fine, that's it. Just coat it, pat it down. There you go. Just make sure it's all covered. Okay, I'm going to put this into, this is going in the air fryer, so I'm going to put that piece in there. And I'm going to repeat the same with this. So I'm bathing the chicken in the egg. I'm going to go back in. Again, you know, this is, I think there's about 25 grams of protein, nearly 30 grams of protein in this, because the chickpea gives you the protein as well. And I'm sure it's about 4 or 5 grams of fiber in there. I forget, I think there's about 250 calories per piece. So we got that done. I will put, like I said, I'll put it in the description. And this is really tasty, you know, because for a non-breaded flour, it actually tastes really nice. And again, you know, add your flavors to your preference. I've probably gone a bit OTT. I always go OTT, story of my life. Right, so we got that. That's one. Do you know what? I'm sure we're going to struggle with the fourth one going in that air fryer. They're quite big pieces. Okay, so when you finish breading all this, you want to give them a bit of a gap between them all in the air fryer. Bear with me, I'm just going to wash my hands. So yeah, you want to give them a bit of a space in the air fryer so they can all cook evenly. Now, there's quite a lot left over. Now, there's a little magic trick I actually improvised on yesterday, and that was I got some more chicken, which I had left over, and I did cut the fat off this time, and I chopped the piece of chicken. Now, you can use this for, you know, either thigh or breast meat, whatever you want. Now, also, you can use this if you want to do some, you know, chicken strips or anything like that. You don't have to go by, I've used a thigh. You can use, you know, totally no fat on your chicken and 100% breast meat. It's entirely up to you. But what I did with the leftovers of this yesterday, I made some popcorn style, KFC chicken style popcorn chicken, which I'll show you in just a second. Okay, so now we've got all these in the air fryer. We're gonna give them a spray. I'm sure you guys have got some. If not, you can get a spray bottle with some olive oil. This is only got 1 calorie, and I'm gonna just give this a spray. And you want to cook this, guys, for a good, well, cook it for about 20 to 30 minutes, but I would be turning this every 10 minutes and then give it another couple of sprays so the chicken's coated and cooking lovely. Now, my finished results are, let me just get them. So I'm going to carry on cooking this, and I will pop it at the end of the video as well. But what you'll end up with, or should end up with, is something really nice. Let me just show you. Okay, so this is what I did yesterday. And so there's the chicken there. There's the piece of chicken. It's a big piece of chicken. And that is, you know, with all the coating and everything. Now, the leftovers, I made some popcorn chicken. And this is really good if you want to take some high protein snacks to work and have these cold. Again, the chicken's good, hot or cold. It's your preference, guys. But you know, that's it. That's it for. And guys, this is what you should end up with: a less cremated version of what I've done. And it took about 40 minutes, but I'm not going to try one just yet because it's going to burn my mouth off. But guys, enjoy. Bon appetit.